Hello and welcome to a video screencast tutorial for getting started in the program Scratch. The first thing you need to do is to download Scratch. On our Tas McCarthy class page we have a link directly to the download site, or alternatively you can go to Google and search for Scratch and it will always be the first one that comes up. If you go to download, it will ask you some questions, but you're able to skip them by scrolling down and clicking continue to Scratch download. Okay, after that you'll have your option for downloading for Mac, PC or Ubuntu, which is Linux. Most of you will be doing either PC or Mac. You need to follow the instructions to install the program, and once you do you can open it up and you should find it looks like this. Okay, like most programs, we have our basic commands up the top, such as the file menu where we can open a new file, open an old file, save project, things like that. And we have our help, which we might use sometimes. The other parts of Scratch you need to get used to are these headings up here. For each of these colors, you'll see as I click it shows up different sets of programming blocks or commands. So it helps to be familiar with what's under each list so you can find what you're looking for. This middle section is where our various programming blocks go to make things happen in Scratch. Our stage, over on the right hand side here, is the output of our programming, and you'll see a green flag to start the program and a red flag to stop it. Also you'll see you can swatch it from small to large and even full screen, which is used just for playing back projects. Down in the right hand corner we have the sprite list. Sprites are like characters. You always have a stage, which is the background, and then these are all of your characters. There could be a whole lot here depending on your project. And then up above this area we have the information for the sprite, where it's currently located, and we can access other things such as costumes and sounds for whatever is selected here. You'll notice the blue box around the outside. In this first video we're going to make a very simple project where the cat moves across the screen, hits the edge, meows, and then bounces back. So the first thing we need to do is make sure we have our cat selected instead of the stage or anything else. Then we're going to come up to Control, and we're going to start it with a green flag clicked, and we'll drag that out, and that's our first command. Now we're going to come over to Motion, and we're going to drag a move 10 steps. Now we can put this down, but you'll find that they snap together and this makes a chain of events. If you click in 10 steps you can change it to something else. We'll change it to 30 for ours. Now we'll come back to Control, and then we'll put in a wait 1 second and change that value to 0.5. We'll add one more move sequence, and we have our first short script. So what will happen, what we've told it, is when we click the green flag up here, we want it to move 30 steps, wait half a second, move 30 steps again. So let's test that now. Okay, just as we expected. So it's important to realize that all Scratch does is read through our programming blocks, and they're just like a list of instructions. It'll follow it from top to bottom. So when this is clicked, move 30 steps, wait half a second, move 30 steps again. So every time we click that, these commands will execute and the cat will react as we program it. Okay, now we're going to add some more detail. So if we come up to the Costumes tab, it shows us that we have two costumes. Now a costume is like a frame of animation. So for this sprite, this cat character, we have two different frames. You can see it changing over on the right here. Two different frames that we can use to animate. So back to scripts, and we're going to temporarily separate this off here because we're going to put something else in between. And we're going to find that from looks. And we're going to drag a switch to costume 2 script. Reconnect to this again. Now we're going to drag off here and add switch to costume 1 and put this back here. So what we've told it is when we click the green flag, we want it to change to the other costume or the other frame of animation, move, wait, change to the other frame of animation and move again. So we'll try that now. Okay, and we have an animating effect. Okay, let's add another layer of complexity. We're going to drag this off, and just to make it balanced we might add one more of these so it goes through 2 full steps of animation. And from our yellow control segment we're going to drag a repeat until, and then all of the things we want to repeat, which is our 2-frame stepping animation, we're going to put inside. So we're telling it when it clicks we want it to repeat everything inside there until something happens. So now it's time to tell it what we want to happen. If we click the green flag at the moment, because we haven't set what we want to happen to stop this animation, the cat will just keep on going on the side of the screen until you hit the red flag, the red stop sign. So what we need to do is we need it to sense when it's touching the edge. So we'll go to sensing, there's touching, we'll drag it, you'll notice that the outside has pointy edges and this matches this shape, so we can snap it in and then set that to edge. Let's test it out. Okay, as you can see the cat, as soon as it reaches the edge, it stops running. So we'll move him back. Now this chain of scripts will repeat until it touches the edge, and then once that happens anything we put underneath will follow on from that. So we might add a sound and we'll get it to play a meow sound. Let's test that quickly. So we're telling it to repeat the moving and changing of costumes until it hits the edge, and then to meow. Okay, one more thing to add. We don't want our cat to be stuck on the edge, so from the motion we're going to change it to a glide command, which means it's going to slide smoothly across the screen. Wrong one. The place we want it to go to is -150 to Y0. Let's test that out now. Okay, perfect. So we've made a very simple project where when we click the go button, our cat walks to the edge of the screen with a 2-frame animation, bumps its head, says meow, and then glides back to the start. And that's our very basic beginning tutorial for Scratch.